Hi, everybody. Warm welcome to Impossible Life. Welcome back if you're joining us again. We hope that all is peaceful in your world today. Also, really want to thank you for joining us, whether you're joining us live or for replays and for your comments in between our sessions. Really, really grateful for you. I also know that a lot of us have been having some interesting technology issues on platforms watching live. So if you're joining us for a replay or you're popping into Meta as opposed to LinkedIn, just hope things get a little easier on your end and technology's back to supporting you in the way that you need to. But regardless, today's title is Zoom. It's a song from the Commodores that has so many different meanings. And I hope when you have a chance, if you haven't heard it yet, you'll kind of tune in, sit back, and let Zoom take you someplace. But this is for you. Thank you for sharing your milestones, for sharing your time, for sharing your energies, your stories with us, whether it's during live events or chats or just we haven't seen each other in a while. If we haven't talked in a while, please reach out. I'd love to reconnect. Zoom as a teenager meant that it was going to be a good day. It was an invitation to fly away, to kind of travel to another place where the air was a little bit clearer and the air was a little bit simpler. And that's something some of us have been having our conversations about, especially it's Domestic Violence Awareness Month for anyone who I'm connected with on multiple platforms. You'll see that this Thursday is Purple Thursday, and I'm on the board of Fearless Hudson Valley Inc., an organization dedicated to advocacy, non residential, and residential services for intimate partner violence, human trafficking, and teen dating violence. On Thursday, we're going to have a couple of lives. And for those of you who know me well, it'll be a day to really push the introvert skin a little bit because I'll end up going live 4 times during multiple events during the day. And just wanted to thank you in advance for your support of the post for Fearless, of the invitations to vote for Kristen's More Than a Phone in Verizon's contest to help her rock her top 5 and give Fearless a chance to raise vital funds. Zoom meant as a kid, it was going to be a good day. We were leaning in. There was something precious, something special about the energy, something really magical about the vibe. I think of Zoom now as watching and grateful that a family member has returned home after a wonderful vacation. When Therese, thank you so much for joining me. And Therese, I really want to thank Therese because I mentioned Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and Therese had an amazing conversation. For those of you who haven't had a chance to check out Therese yet, Google her or look her up on LinkedIn for Gather at the Heart. Therese kicked off an amazing session with Marcia Lee, and I'm honored because Therese and Marcia are going to pop in and join us on Purple Thursday. If you haven't had a chance to check out Therese, her specialty is health and wellness, and she loves to write. So she's got really cool videos and content and inspiration for you just to pop in and join her. The real thing that really caught me about Therese and Marcia's conversation was I was in between meetings. And if we think of this from the definition of Zoom, I should have flown away to another location, but I was right where I was supposed to be with Therese and Marcia. Their conversation reminded me of the process of that complex journey I'm always talking about of gratitude, grief, and growth. of honoring loved ones, of cousins and family members who Fearless Hudson Valley in another day and time could have served. They needed a Fearless. And Therese and Marcia had a conversation about domestic violence from the deepest angle, from the angle of how it affects families, of how it affects children. And their conversation reminded me of the legacy of it. Trauma sticks with a bunch of us. We want to fly away. We want to go someplace where the air is fresh and clear. And for people who are affected by intimate partner violence or human trafficking or teen dating violence, we can't necessarily help them with a ladder or a safety plan. They need a local agency to help them create opportunities to breathe freely again, to stay safe, and to kind of protect themselves. For those of you who we haven't had a conversation yet, please reach out. Hashtag ask me why. I will gladly share a story with you of not necessarily of why we should all care, but why we really should pay more attention to the power and control issues that are happening around us. Because the invitation to Zoom would be, we'd like to fly away. And as friends relocate to other countries and celebrating as a dear friend is returning from Spain this week after some time away from her family and her retirement, it's a real reminder. We can always catch the invitation to step out. And Mike, ooh, Mike LeBlanc is in our audience on LinkedIn. And Mike, I appreciate you. Because Mike says today, this is your captain speaking. And I appreciate you because it's not always steady skies and smooth landings. And Mike just wrote the most amazing song for Fearless Hudson Valley, which I'm looking forward to sharing with you, hopefully on Purple Thursday. And the agency is amazing. There are so many events. There are so many different things that are happening. And thank you, Mike, for your kind, wonderful words. Ooh, Lowe's, how are you? You're right, Lowe's. You can't see on the outside what people experience. So reaching out to others to ask how they're doing in our environment is extremely, extremely important. And I want to thank Therese again. If you haven't had a chance, check out her Gather at the Hearth. And Lisa, welcome. I hope you're feeling better. I had a chance to connect with Lisa last week, and Lisa had the flu. I really hope you're feeling better. Teresa's local and supportive agencies who support domestic violence victims literally save lives. And she's thanking me for mentioning her session with Marcia Lee on this subject. Therese, we're not so sure that we're of our abilities to comfort others or soothe others who are hurting. I kind of think it's why we're here. I understand now from talking to more people when I had mentioned that I was going to pause with Impossible Live, that the real reminder is sometimes we are here because we're supposed to uplift. We're supposed to help others. And I think also as we're trying to do that, the reminder is to keep reaching out. What I'm laughing at is I'm so grateful that Therese and Lisa and Mike are here because according to my mobile device, our event hasn't started. So for those of you who may be catching this later on a replay, you're catching us during, maybe it'll be a little bit later than Domestic Violence Month, which is October. Maybe it'll be a little bit later than Purple Thursday, which is on October 16th. Reach out when you have a chance because this passion for raising funds for Fearless. Part of my gene pool. I have to thank an amazing uh, former chair of the board, Cher Singh, for teaching us during a conference about the art of the ask. She helped me understand why it's important in our communities to keep raising funds for causes that really affect us and stay with us. And if you are catching us after Domestic Violence Awareness Month on April 17th, Fearless Hudson Valley is having our 40th Celebration of Hope Gala. And I'd love to invite you to come join me in person, create an opportunity to raise a glass in person, and save a dance for me. I want to thank you also, Dr. Marcia, for popping in and joining us today. And one of the things about Zoom is I think of it as travel. I think of it from Jay Trevithi's perspective, the young Jedi. We always say, "May the Force be with you." That willingness to travel and to move outside of what is necessarily happening. To say, really, I'd like to fly away from here, and really, as Mike's saying it, and follow Mike because Mike has some amazing, beautiful songs that he's been sharing with us. And Michael saying zoom towards uplifting and helping others. And Mike, once again, just this gentleman's poetry, his ability to just capture kind of where we are in a wonderful, wonderful way. We need to share Mike out, and maybe you're dreaming of a song for your business, for your organization. Reach out to Mike and find a way to make that magic happen. I wish the world were truly happy is one of the lines in the song. And I shared a little bit of the song in terms of how we shared today's event. And the line that I shared was, "Oh, Zoom, I'd like to fly far away from here, where my mind can be fresh and clear. And I'll find the love that I long to see. People can be what they want to be. Oh, I wish the world were truly happy, living as one. I wish the world they call freedom someday would come. Someday would come." Really reminds me very much of Fearless. And I share a story as a board member. I had an opportunity to share it with a wonderful new board member who we're going to have a chance to welcome to the board shortly during our next meeting. And what I smile at was this wonderful young woman inspired me to really remember that concept of freedom. We don't always feel free. We don't always feel like we have the opportunity. We don't always sense the possibilities. And when you have a chance, try and help someone create that opportunity. Somebody we know is job hunting. Somebody we know is hungry. Somebody we know is having trouble paying a bill, recovering, taking a step in another direction. We're all combating. And that's the part of power control. We're all fighting against something, whether part of the fight for social justice, part of the fight to take steps, part of the fight for legacies, or across generations and sometimes across cultures and genders and identities. We don't always speak the same language. And Zoom, I wish the world were truly happy living as one. That invitation is in that song. Wherever you are today, however you are, I hope there are more seconds filled with peace and joy than there are with stress. I hope that we have a chance to Zoom literally during a virtual event sometime later this week. or later this fall, or that we have a chance to raise a glass in person. Really looking forward to the opportunity to see amazing Christy shortly. And I blew the opportunity to meet her earlier this summer, but I'm really looking forward to meeting her in person. Share a story about somebody you're meeting in person who you're lifting. Take a picture to memorize. I'm horrible at that sometimes. I forget to take the pictures to capture the moment. We're caught in where we are. And Zoom. I wish the world were truly happy living as one. I think sometimes it's interesting because my phone says that our event is finally just started on LinkedIn. So I want to thank you for catching up. 16 minutes into it. I think also the thing too, as I'm mentioning amazing people like Therese and Marcia, who had fabulous discussion, and Mike, who's going to join me on Purple Thursday so we can share his wonderful song for Fearless, is that we need to support people like Michael who are Michael's saying he's job hunting and he just started a Substack publication. The Quirky Job Hunters Journal.substack.com. Teresa, I want to thank you. I rarely combine the three words together until it started going live on Impossible Live. And Carla Sellers, amazing team member, kept saying, you need to keep talking about grief. I always talked about gratitude because trying to keep that lens of staying in a space where we're really showing gratitude for the blessings or the opportunities. And the growth part, got to keep growing because otherwise changes just leave us someplace else. And Lowe's, I want to thank you because Lowe's is joining us from the Netherlands, and Lowe's is reminding us freedom is not a given for everyone. Having an attitude of gratitude, be grateful for every day and take nothing for granted. Thank you for the timing of that. I think some are, we want to zoom, we wanted to zoom to that fantasy island. We wanted to zoom towards that other space where there'd be grace, where there could be freedom, where we could feel free of the pressures or of the stress. And what I smile at is people always talking about Mel having a lot of positivity. That's because of a really strong faith walk and an incredibly strong extended family, and dear, 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 dear friends. As we're going through our days, and today's a great day. We've got a nor'easter or the remnants of it in the Northeast, and the rain gives an opportunity, I think, sometimes for cleansing, for solitude, for just chilling, picking up your favorite beverage, having a conversation with someone you absolutely adore, uh, reaching out to a dear friend to share a memory, just to say thanks. And I've started consciously in that process to make sure that at least 2 or 3 times a day, I'm reaching out to say thanks. And today's thank you is for you, regardless of how many of us there are online. And we're hopefully doing this to bring smiles across the miles. We're hopefully doing this to reach out and remind other people that they're not alone, but there's somebody somewhere. And Mike saying that his Substack is going to be a humor filled journal. And the journal is, as Mike would say, that journey of job hunting. Aries, how are you, dear? Hi from the UK and the Netherlands and the Bronx and New York and everybody else who's popping in to join us today. I hope you find a chance to Zoom. Not necessarily using a technological platform, but a chance to just reach out to somebody. And Adrian, welcome back. Adrian has been locked out of LinkedIn for the last 2 days. Adrian, we want to thank you for your amazing energy and welcome you back to Impossible Live. It's got to be frustrating that we think sometimes that, and it's a reminder about the real estate. There are opportunities to connect in person across technology. I'm really appreciative of amazing phone calls I've been having recently with really dear friends. And today, for you, I am wishing you a peaceful day filled with blessings, filled with opportunities, filled with possibilities. If you can, pop in and join us on October 16th, Purple Thursday. If you're catching Zoom later on YouTube or on Meta, come hang out and dance with us at the Celebration of Hope Gala. It'll be the 40th anniversary of Fearless Hudson Valley. And I thank Mike for giving a cool announcement today from This Is Our Captain Speaking. And I'm looking forward to you having an opportunity to hear Mike's beautiful, wonderful, vibrant voice. And Mike is curating songs for us. Ooh, I love that. So Mike's curating his past songs at bespokemusica.substack.com. Fabulous. And as Lowe's is saying, on our way out, let's make today a great day because today is not coming back. As Kimberly Lechnick has helped me understand, there are 86,400 seconds in a day. Let's make some of them really count. Thank you for spending some time with us today, live and on replay. Thank you for your amazing energies as you're reaching out in between our live streams. Thank you for the force field that you sent to help Impossible Live continue, because Impossible Live almost paused. It's a reminder. You're possible. We're possible. We all are possible. And yes, Mike, sooner or later, we will connect. And Mike wrote a song about Mel. I want to thank you for that. Take great care, everybody. Stay safe, stay well, stay inspired, stay in touch, and please, please take great care. And let's be really careful out there. And Adrian, welcome back. We missed you.